It's funny because when they first were casting North Shore, I don't think they even wanted to see me because they said, we want full-blooded Hawaiian, period. And I thought, well, I'm not full-blooded anything. I am really a red-blood American. I have everything in me. But 3/4 of the way through the show, it wasn't working out with the other gal that they had cast. So I got the phone call and they said, Nia, can you come on, we need you to go to Hawaii right now. And we had to reshoot everything that had already been shot with that character. And I remember being really nervous because it was my first movie. And I showed up in Hawaii and I landed. They drove me straight to the producer's little hut there. He took me in and he sat me down and he just said, Nia, with a very straight face, he said, this movie lives or dies on whether or not you can pull it together. And I just went, oh, well, hi, can I have a cup of coffee or something? It was an amazing amount of pressure for me. So it was interesting because on one hand it was really intense. We were trying to get everything done and we were really behind the 8 ball because we had to reshoot everything. But on the other hand, we were working with a bunch of surfers who could care less. So you had the surfers on the side, surfing and hanging out, and you had everybody else, the production team was like this. So it was kind of funny. It struck an interesting balance. And I remember being picked up at the hotel. The van picked me up and Laird and I at the hotel. And we had like a 5:30 in the morning call, 5:30, 6 a.m. And normally when you're picked up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, if you're not there, it's because you're asleep. So you've got to go in and wake the other actor up and say, let's go. But I remember pulling up to pick up the other surfers at their house and they weren't there. Because at 5:30 in the morning, they were already out surfing. And I just thought, that is the strangest thing. It didn't matter how much sleep they had, if the waves were up. I grew up Polynesian dancing, and I never thought I would ever get to use that. Prior to doing North Shore, I did Fame, and I thought, my God, it would have been more useful if my parents had put me in some kind of tap dancing or jazz or ballet. But when I got the North Shore, I got a chance to do my thing. And it's the only time I've ever had a chance to do my thing, so it was kind of neat. It's the only time I kind of got to share a part of my heritage, I guess I should say. That's what I grew up doing. That little bit of aloha spirit and beautiful hand motions. And it was neat. It was neat for me. It's very special for me. It's been about 15 years since that movie came out, and since then I've done a lot of different things. I've had hit records, I've done TV shows, movies, and there are always people who come up to me and say, weren't you Kiani in the North Shore? They remember it, they recite lines from it, they just memorize, like they'll play it over and over and over and over again, and they'll have parties where they play this tape and they memorize the lines. And I think the line that I've heard the most repeated is, he's so bad he broke his stick. And you just have to laugh because they get the little pigeon accent going on and everything. It's great. I mean, I had little 12-year-old boys knocking at my door, hey, aren't you Kiani from the North Shore? Very cute.